Welcome back, everyone, and happy Halloween. Today is October 31st, and I am back to film and share with you all of my cross-stitch progress in the month of October, and do a little bit of a Halloween recap from years prior. I don't have much, but I have some to share. I have my Halloween coffee. It's so cute. My mom bought me this cup as a gift. And then I've got my Halloween sweatshirt on to support, to represent. It's my favorite time of the year. My husband and I celebrated our 9th year anniversary. We just got back today from Portsmouth. We went all up the coast of Maine up towards Belfast, and had a fun time. If you are in the New Hampshire area on the seacoast and you've never been to the restaurant called The Library in Portsmouth, so the library is in one of the original hotel dining rooms. It was rebuilt in 1887, and it is retained all of its original structure. The French mirrors, the hand-painted frescoes on the ceiling. There's Italian marble. It's beautiful, and it's supposedly haunted. Our wait staff, who was absolutely wonderful, his name was Cameron, he was telling us about some of the hauntings in the hotel. So if you've never been there and you're in this area, you should go check it out. It's worth a trip and worth an evening out. But let me start. I'm sure you're most interested in the cross stitch, so I'll dive into that. I'll start with sharing my book of days. This is my October book of days. I got quite a number of stitches in, but not on a lot of projects. I like the vintage stickers. I have a little bit of a shadow. It's a very New England autumnal Halloween kind of day. It's rainy and dark and all the leaves are coming down. So I don't have great lighting, for which I apologize, but I thought these cute little stickers were apropos with the little vintage witches and all the little broomsticks. This one says Halloween greetings and it's got a little spider on it. I think it's super cute. So good number of stitchy days. And I can't believe we only have 2 months left in the year. That's crazy to think about. And I will touch base on the end kind of on general plans, but let me start. I have not a fully finished, but I have a finish for this October. It's a small. It's in Primrose Cottage's 12 monthly minis. This book here. Again, I'm sorry the lighting isn't great, but I did this little guy here. Let's see if I have a better picture of him. These are so cute. I did this in 3 days, which I suspect many of you could do this in less than 3 days, but I've discovered that I'm actually a fairly slow stitcher. So this is the one I did here. And this is the latter half of the year. So October, November, December, July, August, September. Aren't they cute? They're so, and I like look at the little turkeys. They're so cute. So I stitched this with the called for DMC on the called for fabric, which is a 32 count light taupe. I did it in a light taupe Lugana with a Zweigart base, 2/2, just using the DMCs. Look how cute that is. Oh my goodness. Little bats, little pumpkins. The lights are, I won't repeat myself. I've said it twice already. I'm sorry. But look at that. Those cute little stitches.
Did turn out nice.
Didn't it? So I'm going to put November here. And I hope to stitch that next month. But look how tiny. It's such a tiny little pillow. Well, it's not a pillow yet, but I intend to make it a pillow. It's going to be such a tiny little cute pillow with the little bats in the corners and the quilt stars and the tiny pumpkins. Oh, it's so cute. Anyway, that was my finish of the month, which I thought was adorable. Next, I have some whips. Oh, and these are the 2 DMC. It is just 310 and 3853. So you could easily just pick 2 colors you have in stash. I looked at my over-dyed floss to see if I had a floss that I liked better that was over dyed, but I ended up just sticking with the DMC. It was easy. And I liked this particular orange. But yeah, you just need a black and an orange and you're good to go. So the next one, I didn't stitch very long. I only got like 1.5 days on this particular project. This is a full coverage piece. It is called Maeve. The original artwork is by Jenna della Grottaglia Maldonado. And this is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like. I love this one. For whatever reason, this screams to me both like summer solstice all the way through winter solstice. There's summer vibes, there's autumn vibes, there's Halloween vibes. I don't know. It's so pretty. And I've got a glare, I'm sorry. Let me go that way. And the colors are so beautiful. I have some of them readily available. They're all just in a bag. I hadn't sorted them yet. But as you can see, look at all those oranges. It's going to be pretty. And right now, I stitch all my full coverage pieces 1/1 full cross on 28 count. And there's a good number of them. And I've been planning and excited to start going through plans with you guys. But I'm just up in that corner with leaves. There's a lot of black right now, right in this corner. Up here, kind of filling in all this stuff. So, pull it back. It's kind of hard to tell. When I pull it forward, it like emphasizes what you can see through the fabric, but it's not that obvious in person. So it's kind of an interesting phenomena with this particular light. But that is how far I got on Maeve. And in total, I have stitched, let me share with you what I have stitched. 3,004 stitches out of 504,000, which equates to 0.6%. So I started this year. It has not gotten as much attention as other projects, but I do love it. It's one of my favorite full coverage pieces thus far. So that is Maeve, my Heaven and Earth design. And I'll keep that out through today. I'll work a little bit more on that today for Halloween. I think this will be a quick video. I'm going through it already very quickly. The next piece that I worked on was Emmy, and this is a design by Nora Corbett in her Bewitching Pixie series. Try to see, I'm moving you over to see if that helps with the light. I don't think it will. And I've stitched one other. I've stitched Luna, which I'll show you. But I got quite far on this. This, I forgot my board, is Emmy. So when last you saw her, none of this was done. I only had part of her body and kind of half of this here, and then her hat and her face. So essentially the rest of this black and all the way down is new. Oh, she looks good. She looks good up on the camera too. This is one of my favorite lines by Nora Corbett. I love her Bewitching Pixie series. I have all 12, and I really, at some point, would like to stitch all 12. Aspirations, right? I want to stitch everything. But my little Hocus Pocus Winifred needle minder, and then this one is an anti-frog potion by, this is a needle minder from, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. See how cute that is? He's so cute. So, and then this is Emmy up close. And I'm doing all the called for her. And she's being stitched 2/2 on milk chocolate Wichelt linen, which is the called for linen. All the called for floss, with the exception that instead of 310 DMC, I switched it out for Anchor Black, which I think has a little bit better coverage on a Wichelt fabric. So that is where I got on Emmy. And she got at least 8 stitching days to get that far. So the next thing I worked on was classic. It's Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. And this is Carriage House Samplings. This came out in 2017. Many, many people have stitched this, are stitching it, actively working on it. This is what it looks like, and it's gorgeous. This is just so, this is like quintessential Halloween in every aspect. It's got the haunted houses, it's got the spooky graveyards. Let's see if I can take this out actually and minimize a little bit of this glare, possibly. It's got the haunted oceans, the swamp. I love it. Now, if you look at Red Velvet Quilts, she goes through the history of this poem. And so check out her channel because she is stitching these in smalls, individuals, but she's focusing on getting the ones with the poem. This is actually a verse from a poem. And I should have revisited who the author was. I don't remember. So I'll have to take a look. But last year I started this block but did not finish it. This year I finished that block, the first block, minus the backstitch. I'm holding off on the backstitch till the very end. And then I started the second block. Oh, it looks so good. Yee! Let me see. This one, I'm stitching this 1/2 on 46 count. This is a Bestitch Me fabric called Honey. And I'm using Vicky Clayton silks for the interior of each block. And then for the block itself, I'm using Silken Colors Acorn Woods, which is Silken Colors number 164. And as you can see, it's got green, it's got teal. Let's see if I can find a good chunk of the purple. It's got this beautiful purple in it. You can see right there. And then all these golden browns. And so it just gives, and this was Cher Bear Stitcher's idea. She's stitching hers as well with this as the outline, and it just gives it a unique little pop. Let's see if I can get it close. So you can see, you can kind of see, like I said, the lighting is not great, but you can kind of see through here the tonal variations. Oh yeah, like up here. You can see both the teal coming in and the purple. So I finished this one up, did all the words, finished the, I had to finish the ghosts, the bats, and the haunted house. This is a spider. He's missing his backstitch, and then I have to put the cobwebs in at the end. And then I started this one, and I feel like this is several thousand stitches. I think it's at least 3,000 stitches because each box is almost 400 stitches. And so I did a lot on this. Eek! I love this like tiny, tiny cemetery. Look at these tiny little crosses. It's a tiny cemetery. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. It looks so good. And so I'll keep pulling this one out. This will be one of my focuses for Halloween. Oh, Mike, look at it. It looks so good on camera too.
It's fabulous.
That's so cool. So that was my last, actually this is technically a whip because I believe I showed it to you last time. The next one I worked on, which I think is technically a whip, this is Blackbird Fraktur, and I'm working on this with my friend Patty Douglas. We started it last month, and this is a Plum Street Samplers piece. This is what it'll look like. I like this one too. The colors are beautiful. This is the floss ring. It's got some beautiful rich tones in it. I just love the autumn palette. It's like the best. And I'm stitching this on 36 count Wren. I'm stitching it 2/2 because I love, particularly with black and autumnal things, I love the rich saturation that 2/2 on 36 offers. And this is where I am. So I worked a lot on this bird, the very beginning of this month. And I will work some more on this next month as well. But that is where I am on Blackbird Fraktur by Plum Street Samplers. 2/2, 36 count Wren by Picture This Plus. And I am using all the called for colors, except instead of mascara, which is what's called for the black color, Weeks Dye Works, I'm using black licorice. I feel like it's more black if possible, and also had it in stash where I did not have mascara, but I feel like this is like really deeply saturated, and so I like that. And I've already used at least half a skein of black, so good chance I'll need to buy a third skein of this, because there's another Blackbird and then the big candelabra in the center, and this fence I believe is black. So, but oh, that's pretty too. Look at this one. I just have to keep showing him. So good.
It's the bird.
So those are all the whips I worked on. And since I didn't have as much stitching time in terms of number of whips, I thought I would share with you some of my past finishes from Halloween since I started. Now, the very first one, I'm bummed because I cannot remember the name of the pattern. It's by Drawn Thread, and it's using the NPI and, oh, it just escaped me, Dinky Dye. So they use NPIs and Dinky Dyes. And I stitched this 2/2 on 32 count dirty Belfast linen, or 32 count linen, in the colorway Dirty. Isn't that cute? Oh, it's so adorable. I have stuff to make this into a pin cushion, like a pin cushion base, but I'm not entirely certain on the sizing. I had wanted to try and get that done this year, but I just ran out of time. But that is a prior finish. And if you really want to know, leave me a comment. I'll see if I can find the pattern. It's but I do know it's a Drawn Thread pattern. The bats and the bird, and I like the tiny little button spider right here. So I have this would be cute with a pin cushion and little tiny black crow pins in it or something like that. Another finish, I have no idea where this pattern came from. It's one of the very first things I stitched. It's on 28 count Legacy Lugana by Picture This Plus, just using DMC. I have this lovely strip, and I have the Sanderson sisters. It's so cute. Look how tiny they are. I think I have a tiny frame somewhere that's like two, like open fold, and it's got two, and it closes, and it's like a gray gilt.
I bought you one.
I don't know where it is though. That I want to put them on one side, and then I have the tiny, like the book or the black candle, and I put it on the other side. But these are the Sanderson sisters. And this is 1/1 on 28 count. They're so tiny, and she's got her little weird lip. This is what we're watching tonight. Our Hocus Pocus. Look how saturated it looks. My tiny Sandersons.
It's a good one.
And this is when I had literally just first started stitching. And I think I was a little nervous to do 2 over 2. So these the stitches are not as pretty as they have become over time. The next piece I have is also a finish. This is the other Bewitching Pixie that I finished. This is Luna. It's a Nora Corbett pattern. And I was originally inspired to do this one by Samantha, the Huga Stitcher. I saw when she first started filming, she started this for Halloween, and I was immediately like, I must stitch this. So my sister and I stitched this as my birthday start, and we've both finished it. Hers is framed. She had hers framed by Rental Studio, and it hangs up in her house, and I have not had mine framed yet. I have a weird shadow. Oh well. But this is Luna, and this is what she looks like. And she's stitched for all the called for, with all the called for. This is DMC black, which actually is not too bad, and on milk chocolate. Oh, that looks good. I love how like saturated the black looks on camera, Mike.
Very dark.
It's so good. And so, let's see if I can get a close-up of her. All the beads. She's blinging out. Look at that. My sister switched the beads to Delicas because she liked the sizing better, but I really liked the tactile feel of the Mill Hill here, to be honest. And then the sparkly, look how sparkly that is. Oh my gosh, that looks good. So that is Luna. Oh, she looks so good. Let's see, where's Emmy? Here she is. We'll be up together. Yee! And then I have 2 other fully finished pieces. One of them is a Mill Hill kit called Spooky Gate, which I believe is out of print now. But this is I have purchased it on the secondary market not too long ago. I have seen it on the secondary market not too long ago. But this is Spooky Gate. This is a Mill Hill pattern. I feel like the Headless Horseman just needs to be like galloping down here. I love how the light is actually picking up all the beads.
Isn't that like one of your first finishes ever?
This is, yes, this is my first
ever finish.
It is. I think you're right. I finished this in 2021, summer of 2021.
After 9 lovely years, I know things.
Oh, I was like, 9 years. That's how long we've been married. I was like, what? But yes, Spooky Gate. And this sits on my mantelpiece, and I like to have it out. Oh, Primrose is having a good dream. I think she's chasing squirrels. They are tuckered out after our drive and our holiday. And so, all the beads. And I used everything that came in the kit. The beads, I like these, I don't know if we can see, the golden kind of greenish beads down here. The kitty cat. I love the vines. The vines have, there's vines and then purple for the like flowers going up the vines. Oh my gosh, that looks good. It's just like so thematic. Halloween is the best. Look at that, the shirt, the earrings. Oh, I love Halloween. Sadly, we don't get trick-or-treaters because we're in the country, kind of ish. And then last but not least, this is my second finish ever, right? Yeah. This is the one and only stitch along that I actually started and kept up with. It's the first one I did. It's a All Hallows Eve 2021 Storybook Stitch Along, which was hosted by Sitchonomy. I think they're still hosting Stitch Alongs. And I changed everything about this. This was a experimental piece. Gosh, it looks good. I stitched this on 28 count Legacy Lugana by Picture This Plus, and I added all sorts of things. So I added all of the gold Krynic. I changed, there's like glow in the dark floss. I added beads, like this doodad here, the crystal, all sorts of things I added. There is one, oh, I added the key and the lock down there. See them? Those are cute. And these are supposed to be representative of stories. So like this is an Edgar Allan Poe story. Pumpkinhead. This is obviously Cousin It. And then It, the clown. Frankenstein here. Oh, here's the Sanderson sisters. They're so funny looking. But this was the first piece I finished of this size, and my husband got it framed for me as a gift. Storybook Halloween. And this one is very messed up. I messed that one up a lot because I got off on, like, when you're not over 2, you're only over 1, and so I messed it up. And it just looks, it's not great, but it's a learning. Little Red Riding Hood. I put the bat in there. The mask. I think this looks cool. They did a good job framing it, I think. So, and this is a beautiful frame. It's in museum glass, and I don't fully understand how it's like you can see it comes out. It's got a 3D effect to it. Makes me think of an old library. So, museum glass and Beetlejuice and all the goofy things that are Halloween. And I love how like ornate the frame is compared to how kind of, I don't want to say simple, but I don't know what the right word is. There's a contrast between the stitching and the type of frame chosen, and I think it's great. So this is my Halloween storybook stitch along by Sitchonomy. So those are all of my Halloween finishes and my active Halloween whips. I have a lot of Halloween whips, but as many of you, if you followed me before, know I have pared down what I am actively working on, which I guess kind of touch base generally on plans. At the end of the year, I'll record a whip parade of all of the things I've selected to be active whips. I have dekitted like 50 projects, and I'm organizing all the floss. I dekitted so many projects. I'll put up a separate video too. I have a couple whips that need to be adopted, and so I'll see if anybody's interested in adopting a whip. But otherwise, I've narrowed it down to, I have about 30 inactive whips and 25 active whips, something like that. The one caveat to that is I struggle with my full coverage to know which to keep, which to not keep, and therefore those are kind of in stagnation, for lack of a better explanation. But, so, I have a little bit of haul to share. Not very much. Just some finishing ideas. I saw Red Velvet Quilts. She got a couple of these. They were on sale for 50% off, or 40 or 50% off at Hobby Lobby recently. And so they ended up being only $3 each. And she had thought they would make good surfaces to put a cross stitch on. And I thought that was a great idea. So I have the white, the blue, and then the orange to be finishing pieces. And so right now they're just sitting on our entry table for decoration. But I thought this was a clever idea from her. I'll hold off on touching base too much on plans for next month. Focusing on One Nation. I did a little more stitching on some other stuff that I'll show. That's not Halloween. I'll share that with you next month. But getting back to my goals and things of that nature. But yeah, anyway, that's a wrap up on all the Halloween stitching and all of the Halloween stitches I have. Short video, like I said. But thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you at the end of next month and hopefully have a lot of stitches to share. Enjoy the trick-or-treaters and enjoy the spooky night. You guys have a great day. Bye.